What is up, everybody? It's Tuesday again. Time for touchdown talk. How's everybody doing? Excuse me, I am dealing with some bad allergies, so I might be sniffing a lot. There's Dadpool. There's Dadpool. So, um, yeah, I am going to be sniffing a lot throughout this live. I do not feel the best. But you know what? The show must go on. So I'm going to do my best to get through the show. Wait for Dadpool to get on.
Please tell me you can hear me.
Yay! No issue.
All right. Yay, yay, yay.
Yeah.
Nah, I hear you, man. I don't feel. I have a rough day either. Rough day too. So it's all good.
We don't have to do the
We,
monologue if you don't want to.
you don't want to talk about our balls? I mean, our deflated balls.
Deflated balls. And that's
Deflated
it.
balls.
Welcome to Touchdown Talk. We'll just skip the monologue.
T TD talk. Yeah, it was a crazy week. It
Touchdown
was a
Talk.
crazy week.
Yeah. Hopefully Chandler will pop in tonight.
I'm hoping my best friend comes in tonight. We can talk.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So,
How was your week? How was your week?
my week has been okay. I mean, for fantasy, I went 10 and 10, so I went like 50-50. So it was not good. It was good but not
Mm,
good.
ouch.
So, it was good but not good. So, I at least I'm 3-1 in my work league. I mean,
There
that's
you
a
go.
first. That's a first. I'm in second place.
Nice.
So I don't think I've ever done. I don't think I've ever had started off this. Well, maybe I think I did for the first 2 weeks. I think I started off pretty hot, and it just went downhill. So it just went downhill.
Like your main guys on that league on that
Um,
roster?
Amon St. Brown
Okay.
is my Amon St. Brown is my top one. I do have Kyron Williams and Derrick Henry. I've got Baker, and think I think I picked up Jackson Dart as my backup, so I snagged him. So,
What was that the league when you asked me should you start Baker or Gino?
oh yeah, no, yes, I
No.
have Gino. I put a request in for Jackson Dart. That's it. You got it right. Yep, 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 yep,
And you
yep.
and you you almost started Gino. I told you hold on. I mean
Yep.
Baker had a
Oh,
had a had a good game. Well, he obviously didn't win, but still they had a good
no,
game.
I just thought he was going to go off. I thought he was going to go off
Yeah.
really because I was like,
Thank you.
um, the Bears' defense not being the best, so I thought, all right, I'm gonna get situated and should we get going with the show?
I think we should start the show.
All right. All right. Let me grab everything. So, all right. So, yeah, it was definitely an interesting week, especially for fantasy. So the Thursday night matchup, Seahawks win 23-20. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's been kind of consistent, which I kind of like. He hasn't really had a bad game this whole year.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's hanging, like around what 6, anywhere from 15 to
yeah,
20 points a game,
yeah,
which isn't bad.
yeah. We'll bring everybody up. We'll bring people up here in like the third segment. So we're doing the touchdown Tuesday touchdown turnouts. Uh, Sam Darnold went 18 for 26 for 242 yards, a touchdown, 16 fantasy points. I think I started Sam Darnold a couple leagues. Kenneth Walker, 19 carries for 81 yards, so 12 fantasy points. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 4 catches for 79 yards and 13 points. In the Cardinals side, Kyler Murray, 27 for 41 for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interception. Marvin Harrison Jr. Finally got that touchdown, but it was kind of a garbage touchdown. 6 catches for 66 yards, a touchdown, 18 fantasy points. So Seattle moves at 3-1, and the Cardinals fall to 2-2. I don't know how I feel about Arizona. I really don't.
I They're not the same team that started 2-0. I get it. And you can't blame it on James Conner. You can't blame it on a middle aged running back who's at the tail end of his career. You can't blame his injury as fault. Like you just said, garbage touchdown for Harrison. Well, Kyler Murray's both touchdowns were kind of late game heroics. He had nothing up until that point. I don't trust Kyler Murray. I told you the other day I don't trust Marvin Harrison Jr. either. I would trade him if I had him. That's me, and I don't make trades.
I think it's in. I'm trying to remember where I have Kyler Murray at. I know if I drop him, there's not much. There's not much. I mean, if I'm dropping him for Sam Darnold, I'm basically getting the same quarterback.
But you're getting a Sam Darnold with Seattle team that has a really really good defense who's going to keep you in games. Uh, Arizona's defense is not that good.
Oh wait, I want to see what London is. It London? I traded Saquon for was it Etienne
Amika, Mbuka.
and David Montgomery?
So we got 2 running backs and a wide receiver. I think you
I
won
say
that
that's
trade.
pretty damn good. Yeah, I think you win. I think that's a win.
I mean, I know
Bosa's
Montgomery.
just been
Yeah,
he's been consistent. I know mate David Montgomery had a down week for fantasy. Etienne has been playing pretty decent, so yeah. I think you definitely that was smart. That was very smart. You got a lot for Saquon. Thumbs up from the NFL guy. I approve that trade.
yeah, that's a good trade. I mean, he obviously had some need on his team, and he sold the right player to get the right amount of equity back. So
Yeah.
it's a perfect trade.
Yeah. If you want to share the live, like the live. I know a lot of lives. I just don't understand it. Like I seen so many. I pop in once in a while to live that people talk about NFL and stuff and everything, and they just ignore the guests. Was in there for like these one people I can't remember. I do follow them, and they just like people are messaging them and asking them about trades and stuff, and they don't pay attention to the chat, and I don't understand that. I feel like that's the most important thing if you're doing a live is the people coming in. They got
Yeah, and
trade
then
questions or talk, that comes up and talk. They don't have to be on TikTok. But we pay attention to you guys. At least this is one live that we pay attention to the chat as much as we can. So Is Seattle like a pretender 3-1 team, or are they actually a threat?
I think they're a threat. I think that defense is, like I said, is coming around just shutting people down. They're playing in a weak division.
Mm-hmm.
They could, like I said, I had them going to the playoffs, being that last
Mm-hmm.
team in. I'm not going to sway from that. I will go back and maybe say they could compete for the division now with the Rams. They're
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that good.
Mm-hmm. Um. Actually, let me read this. Okay. All right. I guess we'll definitely move on. So we had the very early morning game. I worked. Wait, what time did I actually unwind? And I unwind way too much when I got off work on Saturday. I think I went to bed at 3 o'clock, and I got up at like 9:45. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. Oh man, but it was definitely an interesting game. Steelers pull it out 24-21. Aaron Rodgers 18 for 22 for 200 yards and a touchdown, 12 fantasy points. I don't think anybody's starting Aaron Rodgers. Kenneth Gainwell, like crazy. 19 carries, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, 31 freaking fantasy points. And DK Metcalf, oh man, I was rooting him on when he had that big pass. Oh man, that big pass to Metcalf where he went to the end zone. 5 catches for 126 yards, a touchdown, 23 fantasy points. Oh
Yep.
my gosh. On the Viking side, Carson Car Wreck Wentz, 30 for 45, 350, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks, 21 fantasy points. Double J, Justin Jefferson, 10 catches for 126 yards. Big game out of him. 22 fantasy points. And even Jordan Addison, a nice fantasy game. 15 points. If you started him as your flex, 4 catches for 114 yards. Steelers moved to 3-1, and the Vikings fall to 2-2. So, um, real quick, I won't. Oh, you won by my fantasy league by 1 point this week. Oh, that's always good. That's always good. Those ones are nail biters when you're down or you're ahead by 1 point and you're watching. Especially you have somebody going like Sunday, Monday night. That's the worst. That's the
That's
worst.
why that's why I always try to have, and I know people hate my draft style. I like to have multiple players for a team because, like last night, I had Sutton and Mims. I know they both scored a touchdown, but in the league that I have, return yards count. So I started Mims, got
Yeah.
me more points than Sutton. So
Um.
it's good to have kind of pay attention to those when you're drafting what the schedule looks like as well, and kind of base your team around the schedule so you know
Yeah.
who's playing when. I don't know. That's what
Did
I
you
do.
get up to watch this game, or when did you get the? I don't remember if I to the early morning game.
I got up. I got up just before it started. I mean,
Oh, did you? Yeah, I think I.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
switching back from that and fantasy football now on ES. I was
Oh yeah,
going
I
back
didn't
and
even watch
forth.
fantasy football. I probably won't even watch the show this week because I'll be watching the football game again. So that's the only time I really skip the fantasy show on ESPN is when the game's on. So the Steelers are 3-1. I don't know the rest of the Steelers' schedule, but are they going to end up being like maybe a 2 to 3 loss team, or is Rodgers just going to have a couple of those games where it's like the Steelers should have won that game, but like interceptions or fumble or something like that? Where do you see the Steelers going forward?
Well, their next two opponents are Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Oh my God! Ha!
I mean, division games. Cleveland always plays their
I
opponents
mean, they
tough.
beat
So
Green Bay. I mean, it's a possibility they beat Green Bay, so it is anything's possible. Anything can happen in the NFL. But on paper, I'm just like the Steelers should actually win those games, both those games back to back.
They have a tough schedule after Cincinnati, though. So because they play Green Bay, the Colts, the Chargers, the Bears, the Bills, the Ravens.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
play
Well,
Detroit.
the Ravens are just kind of like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
yeah. Anything about the Vikings?
I was never high in the Vikings, even if JJ McCarthy was the quarterback.
Yeah, I
If I
wasn't
was
either.
Justin Jefferson, I would want out. I would want off of that team. He's not gonna win. I mean, the bright spots fantasy wise would be Jordan Mason, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison. I would start those three players all the time
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to get looks, they're going to get points. Jordan Mason, he's an RB1, and he'll just like you said, Cook. I think he'll go pretty high in drafts next year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I gotta get a drink. Yeah, pardon me. I like my allergies are so bad, so there might be a lot of sniffing throughout this live.
That's all right. I
I
just
mean, there are.
act like you're playing for the Cowboys. That's all.
Anyway, Falcons defeat the Commanders in a close game. Um, oh my god, what was it? 34-27,
Yep.
and which is kind of a surprise. I think I can't remember when I get to the end of this. I'll tell you how I did on my week picks, but Michael Penix, 22 for 26, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. Not a bad fantasy week, 18 points. Bijan, big game, 17 carries, 75 yards, a touchdown, and 4 catches for 106 yards. 28 monster fantasy points. Drake London, another great game for him, 8 catches for 110 yards, a touchdown, 25 fantasy points. And the Commanders, not too much on their side. Marcus Mariota, 16 for 27, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception, 16 fantasy points. And Deebo Samuel, 6 catches for 72 yards, a touchdown, and 20 fantasy points. So, yeah, it was really hard to pick a player of the game for this. So many players had really good fantasy. Falcons moved to 2-2, and the Commanders fall to 2-2. So Atlanta is just kind of a team where you don't know what you're going to get week by week. You just really don't know. It's like a big question mark.
Well, like I remember last week when we were picking the games, and I think you picked Washington. I went with Atlanta just because they're better at home. They so
Yeah.
again, they almost blew that game. Their defense is struggling as well. Penix finally has a good game. Uh, I had him. I think this might be my last start for him though because I did pick up Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I
I
picked
think
him
I
up
may.
on quite a bit teams for backup. You know, teams
So
I have.
I may start him over Penix.
Yeah. I did see earlier today that Jaden Daniels might play this upcoming weekend, so that's a plus for Washington. But it's still up in the air. But he is definitely looked like he could go. Um,
But is it really a plus though? They're playing the Chargers in LA, and the
oh,
Chargers are going to be mad about last week.
Chargers is going to bounce back in that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Bijan is very inconsistent, or do you think he's kind of like I don't know how I feel about Bijan.
I haven't given up on Bijan.
No.
He's got the capability of going for 100 rushing and receiving every game. It just all comes down to if the Falcons are going to protect and allow Penix to make the plays. If he's rushed and when Penix has a bad game passing, then Bijan has a bad game. Period. So it
Yeah.
all relies on Penix, and he pretty much kind of controls the flow of the game and how how even Drake London performed, because Drake London had a pretty good game. Uh, Darnell Mooney had some big catches.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when are they going to finally get him going this year?
Just if the offensive line protects Penix, then you're gonna see these players that we rely on week in and week out in fantasy to put up some numbers. It just got to give some time for him to throw, and that's the key.
Yeah, yeah. This one, I think you called it. I'm actually shocked, but everybody rallied around Jackson Dart. They pull a shocker, 21-18. Jackson Dart, I think a
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good outcome for his first game, like starting. 13 for 20 for 111 yards, one touchdown, 19 fantasy points. Um, you got Cam Scattaboo, 25 carries for 79 yards, 13 fantasy points. And, the big blow to Malik Neighbors. I was just like, oh no. Oh no. I felt so bad for Malik Neighbors going down. ACL done for the year. Um, just as it's this team knocks off the Chargers, they lose one of their best receivers.
yeah. That's that. I mean, that's just where Wanda Robinson has to step up. Uh,
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton,
Yeah.
Get Jalen Hyatt, who's another speedy receiver, get him involved. And like I said, did Jackson Dart play a perfect game? No, he was sacked. He had some moments, but like I said last week on Thursday, his energy will just will that team to win. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a different feel when he was in the game, and you felt that last Monday or last week when they were playing the Chiefs, and the fans would go crazy when he came in and boo when he came out.
Yeah.
They had nothing but cheers in this game,
Mm-hmm.
even when the lead was getting kind of shrunk, and it was getting very a tight game. But the defense stepped up in a big way. And Jackson George, I hope. I mean, he's got the Saints, so
Yeah.
maybe this is another game for him to build on his confidence and work on the
Mm-hmm.
things that he didn't do 100% against the Chargers,
Yeah.
and all these doubters, all these people that's Chandler that said like, no, he's not going to do anything, Chandler, but he ended up winning the game, Chandler. Wait, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. On the Chargers side, Justin Herbert, 23 for 41 for 203 yards, a touchdown, two big picks by Justin Herbert, 12 fantasy points. Mario Hampton, just a big game out of him, 12 carries for 128 yards, a touchdown, 27 fantasy points. And Quentin Johnson, 8 catches for 98 yards, a touchdown, and 23 fantasy points. And then what's with Lad McConkey? Like, is it time to start worrying about him?
I don't think so, because the same time that we were worrying about Quentin Johnson, he stepped up. Like even Keenan Allen didn't have a huge game. It's just because of the defense. The defense was making big stops on the wide receivers. Yeah, Johnson had that one touchdown, but it wasn't an easy touchdown. Like it was double coverage. The coverage kind of screwed up. But don't think it's going to happen again. I mean, like I said, he's playing. They're playing the Commanders, who just got shredded by Penix.
Yeah.
Look for McConkey. Look for Allen. Look for Johnson to all have a touchdown next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm not. I think I know Justin Herbert will have a bounce back game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thanks for liking the live. Giants moved to 1-3, win their first game. Chargers fall to 3-1. Um, so we'll move on. Texans, well, They win their first
Yeah.
game. They move to 1-3, and the Titans are 0-4.
Oh, you stink!
Yeah, basically. Jeez. CJ Stroud, really good game out of him finally. 22 for 28, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, 18 fantasy points. And, okay, let's try not to chop up his name. Joe Quavius Marks, 17 carries for 69 yards, a touchdown, and also 4 catches for 50 yards, a touchdown. 27 points out of him. He would have been a great long shot. Nico Collins, 4 catches for 79 yards, and not too much on the Titans side. Cam Ward, 10 for 26, 108 yards, 1 interception. Tony Pollard, 14 carries for 64 yards, 10 fantasy points, and again, Lockett, big 0. So, is CJ Stroud finding his stride now, or was it just like, oh, they're playing against the Titans,
Playing
really,
against the Titans.
The neighborhood kids coming together could probably beat the Titans in a matchup. That's how bad the Titans are.
Yeah, my two turtles could beat the Titans right now. Yeah, let's see what happens. Well, they're playing Baltimore, so in Baltimore next game. So if they can somehow pull out a victory against even no Lamar Jackson, pretty much Baltimore's defense is hurt. A shaken, Derrick Henry, who's I don't know, just having a rough spot in his career of the year. Even though he's got a lot of yards, he's got some good. He's like 7th in yards total, like rushing yards. He's just not. They're not utilizing. Something's off, and I still don't think Houston's. They're a fraud. And again, that game.
Out to picking CJ Stroud as a backup?
No, not at all. No, there's better options. I would stash Shadur Sanders right now. I think Shadur Sanders is gonna if Cleveland were to lose against Minnesota at home this week, I think Shadur Sanders would be a better option than C.J. Stroud. Once because all these buys are gonna start kicking in now. So for me, if I were to pick up C.J. Stroud for a backup, he'd be my Week 7 backup to Josh Allen. He's playing Seattle that week. There's no way he's going to do this against a Seattle defense. I'm sorry. Sorry.
This was my game of the week. Eagles and Bucks. Eagles move to 4-0. Buccaneers fall to 3-1. Eagles win 31-25. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 24, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, he ran for 62 yards, 19 fantasy points. Saquon Barkley, just 9 carries, 62 yards. He also had 4 catches for 31 yards, 17 fantasy points from Saquon. Still a pretty decent fantasy week for him. My guy, Dallas Goedert, 4 catches, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, 19 fantasy points. I definitely was so glad that I drafted Dallas Goedert. I think I got him like super late too. A.J. Brown, 2 catches for 7 yards, 2 fantasy points, which just blows my mind. Baker Mayfield, 22 for 40, 289, 2 touchdowns, an interception, 18 fantasy points. Bucky Irvin had 15 carries for 63 yards, 5 catches for 102 yards, 1 touchdown, 25 fantasy points out of him. Emeka Ibuka, 4 catches, 101 yards, 1 touchdown, 20 fantasy points, which he's been fantasy relevant each week. And Chris Godwin, his first week back, 3 catches for 26 yards. And A.J. Brown posts that if you're not welcome not listen to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a a score, or wait, was it? Oh my god, I can't even remember. A score, shrug your shoulders and just be on your way. Is that saying that AJ Brown is pretty much done in Philly? Like, is he one out, or what is that whole? Before you even we talk about it, like, what's that whole like meaning behind AJ Brown?
He's just going to
Frustrated?
social media and voicing his frustration. I think he's more frustrated in himself because it's not like he wasn't targeted. He was targeted 9 times. You know, and
Yeah.
he only caught 2 passes. That's
Passes.
not
Yeah.
it's not a Jalen Hurts not find him. It's not the offensive not calling plays for him. It's just he didn't catch the passes that came to him. Now if he only got say 3 targets and he caught those 2 passes, then maybe I would be like, okay, something. But then again, it comes down to winning. Saquon pretty much sacrifices a lot of games to Jalen Hurts for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be Saquon at the goal line getting those 1 yard scores, but no, it's Jalen Hurts. You don't see Saquon crying about it. Like he'll be fine. Him, Devontae Smith will be fine. It's there's a I know there's one ball. I would be shocked if he got traded. I don't know where he would go
Yeah.
because there's not many teams that are on a level that he wants to go and play for. That's competing.
Yeah.
That needs a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, you would have to say the Eagles are contenders to get to the Super Bowl again. I mean, being 4-0, I mean, you would think they're like a front runners out of the NFC.
I mean, I still don't. I still like the Buccaneers when
Oh, I do too.
when they're healthy. When any team is fully healthy, they're obviously Mike Evans didn't play. That was a big loss.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know. They just got their off. They just got Tristan Wirfs back, the offensive lineman. So he was trying to get his bearings straight. I'm not making excuses, but like Philly's 4-0, but I don't know if they're a solid 4-0.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's my take.
Yeah. Yeah. Patriots win big 42-13. Drake May 14 for 17, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, 23 fantasy points. Trayvon Henderson 7 carries for 32 yards, a touchdown, 12 fantasy points. Uh, Good game out of from Stephon Diggs. I needed to equalize him more. 6 catches for 101 yards, 16 fantasy points. Bryce Young, 18 for 30, 150, a touchdown, 10 fantasy points. Hey, former Notre Damer, let's go. Tommy Tremble, 5 catches, 42 yards, a touchdown, 15 fantasy points. And Chuba Hubbard, 10 carries for 49 yards, 9 fantasy points. I think Drake May's a really good, solid. Are you starting Drake May in leagues?
No, if only way you're starting Drake May, you better have the 2 best running backs on your team and 2 of the 3 best wide receivers on your team, and even the best tight end because you probably drafted Drake May the 10th or 11th round. There's no way I'm starting him unless I have big names in other roster spots. Again, they're playing this is like C.J. Stroud. They're playing the Carolina Panthers. They're
Yeah.
I mean, granted, their defense shut out the Falcons. That was a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I think the Falcons are better than the Patriots, and they allowed the Patriots to score 42 points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Drake May. Let's see what he does against Buffalo on Sunday night in Buffalo.
Yeah.
If he comes out and he balls out and he has a good game and loses, maybe he could be considered for a backup role on my bench. But
Yeah.
I'm not starting him. I don't know.
I think it's I know I put a trade up. I think just Stevenson is just I think I don't want to say he won't play, but I feel like Henderson is going to get more of the touches than Stevenson.
See, and that's the thing with New England. I can't trust their running backs because every year you think it's going to be this guy breaking out and being the starter, projected to have all these points, and then it's like some random running back. I don't know. Even though Stevenson has some bad games fumbling, I don't think they're giving up on him because he's a really good running back. He might be a flex for me if I were to have him on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon Henderson is like the young, hungry back. So it's almost like he would only propel to be the starter if Ramadre was either benched or injured. Kind of like with Scatterbo, Tyrone Tracy. He got hurt, so Scatterbo got bumped up to the starter.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Henderson. I think he brings energy, but I don't think he can be trusted to be that lead back yet. That,
Yeah. Yeah. Bills defeat the Saints 31-19. Josh Allen 16 for 22, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. He also had 45 yards rushing and a touchdown, 24 fantasy points. He's such a relevant quarterback. James Cook, another monster game, 22 carries, 117 yards, a touchdown, 22 fantasy points. Khalil Shakur, 5 catches, 69 yards, a touchdown, 17 fantasy points. Spencer Rattler on the Saints side, 18 for 27, 116 yards, 1 touchdown, and running back Alvin Kamara, 15 carries for 70 yards, 11 fantasy points, and just like the Titans,
Oh, you stink!
yeah, exactly. The Saints moved to 0-4. Bills 4-0. Bills are just blasting away through this season. They are just cooking.
again, I knew this wasn't going to be a blowout. The spread was too much. And the Saints kept it close. They were competitive. They didn't fold. Everyone thought it was going to be like a 50-point drubbing and all that. I'm thinking no, they're gonna be competitive. But James Cook, what's he got? 8 straight games with a rushing touchdown. I think he's keeping that streak alive, and
Mm-hmm.
he is just a freak of a running back. He's so. I'm not just saying because I'm a Bills fan. He's so undervalued. People underestimate, and they have him ranked so much lower than what he really is.
Yeah.
He's the number one running back in the league.
Yeah. I think next year I'm officially taking James Cook as my first pick. If I have the number one pick, I'm taking James Cook. If I have number three, I'm taking James Cook. Because I think some people will probably take Jamar Chase. Probably take Saquon. I think if I get three within the first three picks, I can land James Cook. I definitely feel like James Cook is going to be gone by the fifth pick next year.
So are you still, even though Josh Allen's the number one fantasy quarterback through 4 weeks, you'd still wouldn't consider reaching for, because again, he can win you games alone and take two players' spots
Yeah.
and get your points. I mean, there's a reason I went for him early and got him in every league because he just has that dynamic ability to score on the
Yeah.
rushing touchdowns and then pass.
Yeah, I still won't reach for. I did it this year because I've never had Josh Allen. And I always wanted him, so I took him. I took him with the first round. Just once I broke my golden rule, but next year, obviously, when I draft next year, yeah, I still find some quality at round 5. I just liked having 2 solid running backs and 2 solid wide receivers, and I think I'd still. Sometimes I might pull like a fourth round for a quarterback, but I usually just stick to my drafting and always draft in the 5th round um with a quarterback. I don't know. It doesn't look good for the Saints. I don't know. Like, I mean, Chris Olave, Shaheed. It doesn't seem like they're getting going. I don't think Spencer Rattler, but like I said, they're going to be drafting somebody next year from college, as far as I know. That's what I would think. I don't know who their backup is, but
He's a rookie. Tyler Shuck, I think he's
oh yeah,
from.
you did say that. Yeah, because they draft him like this year.
Yeah, they drafted him this
Yeah.
year.
So you think it's time to throw him in there, maybe?
I think it's time for them to trade. I think. Oh, I don't know. They could get a Kirk Cousins and do a lot better than what they're doing now. Uh, I know we talked about. Well, we haven't talked about that team yet, so I'll wait till then. But I think maybe they can trade for a backup. Maybe they can trade for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tyler Shuck is the answer either. Like,
Yeah.
he was like a mid-range rookie. Like,
Yeah. Lions win 34-10. Jared Goff 16 for 27, 168, 2 touchdowns, interception, 12 fantasy points. Jahmyr Gibbs 15 carries for 91 yards, a touchdown, 17 fantasy points for Gibbs. David Montgomery only 9 carries for 12 yards. I'm kind of shocked by that. And Damon St. Brown 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, 26 fantasy points. Joe Flacco, 16 for 34, 184, 2 interceptions, 10 fantasy points. Quinshawn Junkins, 21 carries, 82 yards, a touchdown, 21 fantasy points. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I didn't see a lot of this game, but I was really surprised Montgomery only had 9 carries for only 12 yards.
it's that defense, that Cleveland Browns defense is
not too shabby.
at times is pretty unstoppable.
Yeah.
Not unstoppable. I mean, they make it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? They make it tough on the offense, the opposing offense.
Yeah. I really like Junkins a lot. I think he's worth, if you have a running back go down, maybe try trading for him. I think that's a highlight. I mean, he's putting up, decent rushing and decent points.
Yeah, I'm no longer starting Njoku. He is on my bench.
Yeah,
until there's a quarterback change, I'm not going to start him.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe dropping him to get Strange for Jacksonville because he's had 2 straight back-to-back. I think he had 12 and then 10 fantasy points the last 2 weeks. So I was thinking about maybe getting him from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Lions go to 3-1. Browns fall to 1-3. Is the Lions still a team that people are going to talk about come week 10?
I mean, they're going to be competing with Green Bay for the division, so I would imagine so. Yeah, that's going to be a back and forth race for that North. I think my prediction was Green Bay wins that division by 1 game, so I could see it going all the way down to the wire, kind of like last year with Minnesota and Detroit.
Yeah, definitely. This one, I don't know. I'm actually kind of shocked that the Jaguars beat the 49ers 26-21. Trevor Lawrence, 21 for 31 for 174, a touchdown, 11 fantasy points. Travis Etienne, 19 carries for 124 yards, a touchdown, 19 fantasy points. Brock Purdy, 23 for 38, 369 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. 21 fantasy points. Oh, I'm sorry, 17 fantasy points for him. And then you had CMC, 17 carries for 49 yards, 6 catches for 92 yards for a touchdown, 26 fantasy points for CMC. Jags are 3-1. 49ers fall to 3-1. And I just kind of like, how is the Jaguars 3-1?
Well, when your defense leads the league in takeaways, that's one key factor. I mean, they had 4 takeaways alone against the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. Um I was watching a little bit when Jennings got hurt. I think he got hurt, but I think he came back in. I can't remember, but I know I saw him not get back up. So yeah, I I don't know. I just don't know about the Jaguars. 3-1. I guess we'll have to wait a few more weeks and see what happens. And then we could say, wow, Jaguars are like 6-1. What is happening?
I think it's a Brock Purdy thing too. I just don't trust Brock Purdy.
Yeah. You think you should go back to Mac Jones?
I think so. They played kind of like a Jackson Dart type thing. Like it was like a different feeling on that field watching them in the huddle. Like it was they like Mac Jones just had a different amount of energy. Maybe it's because he's healthy and Brock Purdy's not 100% still, because that I think he's questionable for this week. So I mean, is it worth rolling out with Brock Purdy at this point?
Mm-hmm. Rams. I told you that the Colts luck was going to run out. 27-20. Matt Stafford 29 for 41, 375, 3 touchdowns, monster game from him, 27 fantasy points. Kyron Williams, 13 carries, 77 yards, 10 fantasy points. He would have scored, because I don't think he had a touchdown in this game. He would have had a little bit more fantasy points. Puka Nacua, 13 catches for 170 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he's just been fantasy relative all year. 36 fantasy points. And hey, we've got a Tutu Atwell sighting. 1 catch for 88 yards. I think it was that big bomb, too. I think they threw the Tutu. 15 fantasy points. On the Colts side, Danny Dimes, 24 for 33, 262, a touchdown, 2 picks, 10 fantasy points. Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries for 76 yards, 14 fantasy points. And, okay, I am going to mess up his name. Adonio Mitchell.
Adani.
Yeah, 3 catches for 96 yards, 10 fantasy points. And Matt Stafford, well, we can get to that later on, but I mean, Rams moved to 3-1, Colts fall to 3-1. What does this game say more about the Rams and the Colts?
That the Rams got lucky that Adonai Mitchell fumbled that ball at the goal line. That's the game right. That's the game right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the Rams won. They again fumbled on the goal line, scored on an 88-yard blown coverage play. Like I don't know. I'm Colts should have won this game. The Colts definitely should still be undefeated right now. I'm not saying take anything away from the Rams, because Puka and Devontae are playing lights out. It's hard not to have good numbers like Stafford had when you got those 2 wide receivers just catching everything that's thrown to them.
Who would you pick up, Miller or Gainwell?
Oh, I would probably. Oh, pick up. Oh, I thought you were asking. Oh, in the chat.
Oh no, I just saw the chat.
With Gainwell, it's not like he took over. Like Jalen Samuel was hurt. Like it was a last minute scratch. Or Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren was a last minute scratch. He was a last minute scratch, so that's why Gainwell had. I mean, I like Kendry Miller. I like the fact that he does more than just he can catch the ball. He's like a mini version or cloned version of Alvin Kamara. I would probably roll with Miller. Slightly Miller's advantage, just because I think the Saints are going to be in games where they're blown out. this is when the backup would come in and take a lot of snaps. I feel like he's going to get a lot of reps due to the situation of how the Saints are going to be. So I would start him next week versus the Giants because he can break like a Mario Hampton did against the Giants. He can have that 70-yard scamper for a touchdown.
Welcome in, everybody, by the way. Nacho's got a really good comment because I know we talked about
Yeah.
it. We talked about Kamara might get traded too.
Yeah.
Are we talking to like, oh God, what about Chicago? DeAndre Smith for Kamara? Or I was gonna say like Tampa Bay, but you're not gonna have Lucky Irvin and Kamara. I mean, and White going to the Saints. Oh man, I gotta think about this, man. Who could use Kamara? Who needs a running back like right now? Let me think about it for a minute. And Kamara's it's getting up there a little bit.
The Cowboys could use another running back.
Yeah, but I like Javonte Williams though. I just don't see them. I just. Oh boy, that's a tough one, Nacho. Boy, you dropped that on us, man. I'm like, I gotta run through. Wait, actually, I got my standings right here. Give me a second. Where are they at? I had them for. I thought I had them. Maybe I don't. I don't know what happened to it, but man. Let me think. Man, that's tough.
Maybe the Rams, because I know Kyren Williams, but he lost a fumble. Blake
too.
I know, but that's like the Chiefs getting Hollywood Brown, but having Rasheed, having all the riches they got at wide receiver. Like it doesn't matter who's on. I think it doesn't matter because teams are just loading up to win. I don't think it matters. There's no such thing as a. No, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I was saying that's almost like saying having Walter Payton and Eric Dickerson on the same team.
Well, it's no, because that's a different time. There's usually now it's like there's no set main running back. There's no. It's committee pretty much for every team, and I say a majority of the teams are committee. So maybe he said Kansas City. Maybe Kansas City because Pacheco can he be healthy?
Yeah,
for all 17.
That's about Kansas City because you could trade up. You would trade Pacheco for Kamara.
I wouldn't trade Pacheco for Kamara. I would probably trade
Hunt.
No, I wouldn't even trade running back. I'd probably trade
the Saints has got to have a running back to start. A running back has to start. So I
would trade Thornton for Kamara. Yeah, I'd give the Saints a wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't think so because they've got Shaheed and they got Chris Olave. I would think they would want somebody, to throw
Olave.
But backup. Like I don't know offhand. But
Kendre Miller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would well, shit.
Well, I know I'm going to Kansas City anyways. I'm a Bills fan. I don't need that in my life right now. So no, I don't want him going to Kansas City.
Who is okay? So if they went to Kansas City, who is Kansas City? Oh, you said who? See, but Thornton would be going to. Wow, man, that's a tough one. Boy, that's an interesting.
Maybe what about the Arizona Cardinals?
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Kamara and Trey Benson in the backfield.
That would be. I like that. But who is Arizona giving up? Is it draft picks? Is
It
it
could be draft picks and maybe whoever their third string wide receivers. I couldn't even tell you. But Trey McBride's a Trey.
Dortch or Dotch or
Oh yeah, Dortch. Yeah, because
Dortch maybe?
it's hair. Maybe. Well, yeah, I would. You could pull that off. I think Kamara's worth a couple draft picks, and that's it. Late round, like maybe he's worth like a fifth and a sixth round pick.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, he really racked my brain on that one. Good one, Nacho. I really enjoyed that one. That was kind of like I had to
I would take
rack
Miller.
my brain on that. Holy cow! Trying to think,
I'd take
who needs a running back.
Yeah, Nacho. I would take Miller regardless if there's all this trade talk with Kamara because he had a good game against Buffalo. He's been proven he's a good returner, punt return, kickoff return. So let him flourish as number one if he has to. Yep. He could definitely fill in.
All right, Bears, close one, 25-24.
Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah, exactly. That was close. Caleb Williams, 22 for 37, 212 yards, a touchdown, 11 fantasy points. DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 38 yards, a touchdown, 16 fantasy points. Roma Doomsday, another good game, 4 catches, 69 yards, a touchdown, 16 fantasy points. Geno Smith, 14 for 21, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And also, Ashton Genty, I knew he was going to go off in the game. 21 carries, 38 yards, or 138 yards, or 138 yards, a touchdown, 2 catches for 17 yards, 2 touchdowns, 23 fantasy points. Josh Blackwell with a huge block. The Bears to secure the victory. DJ Moore, 7 catches for 38 yards, 7 fantasy points for DJ Moore. I actually saw somebody's TikTok where they're holding a fan up to the TV and they were like, thank you. They were like, there you go. This is how we won. And somebody holding a fan to the TV. I was like, that's great. Bears moved to 2-2 and Raiders fall to 1-3. Bears are tied for third place with the Vikings. Caleb finally getting going, I guess. I mean, oh man, I just don't know. I just don't know about him.
I think the only way the Raiders right this wrong and turn their season around is to trade for Russell Wilson and reunite him with Pete Carroll and ride because right now the division between it's kind of they're 1-3, but that division is not out of reach right now. Chargers are 3-1, Broncos are 2-2, Chiefs are 2-2. They're 1-3. You get Russell Wilson in there, telling you they'll win some games.
You're saying Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than Geno Smith.
I am at this point because those interceptions, although he can make plays with his feet and he can extend plays, but more times than not he's extended those plays and throwing an interception. So I think it's time to get another Pete Carroll, favorite and get Russell Wilson in there.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you trade Geno Smith for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Although Geno Smith has played for the Giants already, just get Russell Wilson somehow to the Raiders and see if that season can be turned around.
Chiefs defeat the Ravens 37-20. Patrick Mahomes, 25 for 37, 270 yards, 4 touchdowns, monster game from Mahomes, 27 fantasy points. Xavier Worthy, 5 catches, 83 yards. He also ran for 38 yards, had 17 fantasy points. Isaiah Pacheco, 7 carries for 35 yards, 2 catches for 13 yards and a touchdown, 12 fantasy points. Um, Also, Juju Smith-Schuster, 4 catches for 36 yards, a touchdown, 13 fantasy points. Lamar Jackson, 14 for 20, 147 yards, a touchdown, interception. Only 10 fantasy points for Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry, 8 carries, 42 yards, 2 catches for 16 yards, 7 fantasy points. Justice Hill, 3 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown, 28 fantasy points. Chiefs improved to 2-2. Ravens fall to 1-3. And is the Ravens the best 1-3 team?
Ooh, that's an interesting take.
Also, got to say that. Hang on one second. I got to do the stupid puzzle thing. Do. Oh, hang on. Dang it.
Yeah,
Oh, come on.
yeah. There's not many 1-3 teams, so I would say right now they're the best, but are they the healthiest 1-3 team? I think the healthiest 1-3 team are the Giants.
Yeah.
Obviously Malik Neighbors went down, but let's just they got their full defense. There's nobody like the Ravens are in like dire straits. Their entire defense is just about hurt.
Are you saying Malik
They're
Neighbors, like, because the Ravens play the Giants next? Or, because you said Malik Neighbors.
no, no. I said other than Malik Neighbors, the Giants are a healthy team.
Oh, yeah,
So they're what because you're talking about because you're
Wait,
yeah because you're talking about 1-3 teams, and I'm
yeah. Oh,
saying
1-3. Yes,
the
I understand.
the,
You.
the,
Okay.
the Ravens might be the best record, best team 1-3, but they're not the healthiest 1-3
Yeah,
team. So I think the Giants have a better outlook.
yeah,
If Lamar misses 2 to 3 weeks,
yeah. Because it's a
and
hamstring. I saw in Sports
yeah,
Center, very questionable for Lamar Jackson. But I don't think it's serious. I don't think it's a serious injury.
but when you're a running quarterback and your hamstring is pulled or strained, that's kind of a. It's not like he just sits back in the pocket. I mean, he can if he
Yeah,
wants to, but that's
yeah,
not Lamar. That's I
yeah.
mean their backup is
It's.
Cooper Rush.
I mean, I can't remember if I was going to say this on a different topic, but this has been a year where it's just like, you know, how can I put it? Not saying scared to play the big time players, but the big time players are just not giving you the points when you should say, "Oh yeah, I should get 15 from Derrick Henry, but you're only getting 7." This player and then that player, and it just seems like people are losing in fantasy because something like Derrick Henry. How did that? I know they were saying that like on ESPN, or was it Get Up or First Take? I can't remember. It's like how are you not giving Derrick Henry the ball? Like how are you not you know using him? Like
Yeah, I heard it today. The big debate. Like, how are you? Yeah, 8 carries. That's not a lot. He needs
yeah,
20. I think he said he needs 20 carries a game. To have for the Ravens to have a chance of winning, and I just don't know if he can get if even if he gets 20 carries at this point, if Lamar's out, is that really going to make the difference in the game?
yeah, because the Chief really doesn't have the best defense. You would think that Derrick Henry should have scored 2 touchdowns. That they should have had goal line opportunities, but it just wasn't there. Like I just don't. I mean, you're not getting Zay Flowers the ball. It's just like I just don't under. I don't under. This team is very just weird. I don't know how else to put it, but 1-3, are they still Super Bowl contenders? I know Stephen A. Smith was discussing it this morning, but oh man, I just don't know about the Ravens. I really don't.
Well, if they were to lose this week coming up, oh, and go 1-4,
Yeah.
I think the percentage of 1-4 teams that make the playoffs, I think they said it was like 6% or 3%. The percentage of 1-3 teams was like 14%.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were to lose and lose, it's just their odds of, and that's just based on statistics. Anything can happen. I just don't know if the Ravens can come through. The Steelers are playing nice. I know it's not pretty, but the Steelers are playing nice right now.
Yeah. I still think that when Rashid Rice comes back, I think Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy is going to get the most like touches. Um I'm still hanging on to Xavier Worthy when Rice comes back because I think Xavier
Uh,
Worthy is that receiver that is, you know, worth having. But I don't know about Thornton. I don't know about Hollywood Brown, and I don't know about Schuster. Um, so yeah, I don't know. They're loaded. You know, each game could be a different receiver, but I would think that Worthy and Rice is going to get the most touches.
well, well, the Chiefs are kind of built like the Bills because you don't know who's good. I didn't like. I have Shakir. I didn't start Shakir because I didn't
Yeah,
think I should have. But
yeah.
there's so many good receivers on that team that you don't know which week who's going to get that ball. You know Josh Allen's going to make plays. You know he's going to probably score a rushing touchdown. You know he's probably going to throw for one or two. You just don't know who he's throwing to. And the
Mhm.
Chiefs, the same way. Next week it could be Travis Kelsey 3 touchdown game. Like you just don't know.
Um, the next game just frustrated the fuck out of me, but um, it was a great game to watch. Cowboys, Packers, 40-40 ends up in a tie. Dak Prescott, monster game. 31 for 40, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, 30 fantasy points. Javonte Williams, 20 carries for 85 yards, a touchdown, 19 fantasy points for him. And then George Pickens. I love me some George Pickens. 8 catches, not super late in fantasy. 8 catches, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, 33 fantasy points. Jordan Love, 31 for 43, 337, 3 touchdowns, 26 fantasy points. Josh Jacobs, 22 carries for 39 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he also had 4 catches for 71 yards, 31 touchdowns. And Romeo Dobbs, 6 catches, 58 yards, 3 touchdowns, 29 fantasy points. I mean, monster fantasy points between two teams, between a lot of players. And I'll get to this about the overtime rules in a different segment, but I don't understand how we still have ties. That frustrates the hell out of me, this game.
Yeah, the college game got rid of the ties years ago, so why can't the NFL follow suit and just it makes it easier standings wise, tiebreaker for playoff scenarios and division scenarios and whatnot. But I will say, last week when we talked, you asked me what guy would be the guy for Green Bay. I did say Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah.
So Romeo Dobbs had a game. I
Yeah,
just
he had a
I
game.
didn't watch this game.
It
I,
was
I, I, I fell asleep at halftime.
Dude, I hate to say this, but I was at the edge of my seat. It was such a great game. Dallas moves to 1-2-1, and Green Bay moves to 2-1-1. Yeah, it's I think getting George Pickens was such a fantastic move by Jerry Jones. George Pickens is a solid wide receiver. As long as Dak stays healthy. Dak had a monster game, so I think even despite the tie, there's a lot of good things to say about Dallas if you're a Cowboys fan that they really battled against the Packers, which could be a who knows an NFC title matchup, championship game down the road. It's hard to say. It could be, but man, if that would be, oh my god, it would just be. This would have been a good NFC championship game. I'm watching this and I'm like, man, this feels like a playoff game.
Yeah, again, I watched just the highlights, and
Man, it
I
was.
mean, again,
I
I
think they
don't.
almost blew it. Like they took forever
Yeah,
to. It was like 10, 9, 8. Jordan Love's looking around. 5, 4. Get it off with like 3 seconds and then get 1 second left. And I'm like, what is the Packers doing? They're like, why are you hiking the ball? Like they about blew the game.
I did see
Because
that. I thought the time expired. I thought the clocks went
yeah,
to
it just
zero.
was like it was kind of like, even the announcers was like, "What are you doing? Hike the ball." It's like 3-2. They almost lost the game. It was just like, what is happening? Because I'm watching it and I'm actually yelling at my TV. I'm like, "What are you doing, Jordan Love? Hike the ball. The time is running low." It was, jeez, almighty. But yeah, it definitely felt like a playoff game. So
And
um,
I know there's leagues that Dak Prescott didn't even get drafted in.
oh my gosh. Wow. That's crazy to say.
I mean,
Yeah. I still
I
think
didn't draft him.
yeah, I think he's still solid. If he's healthy, I still feel like, you start him. He's a solid quarterback. I
Oh
think
yeah,
he's consistent more than some of the other quarterbacks. This one I watched at work, so I did pay attention to this one. Dolphins beat the Jets 27-21. Jets fall to 0-4. Dolphins finally win their first game. Mike McDaniel keeps his job. Tua, 17 for 25, 177, 2 touchdowns, 15 fantasy points. Devon A-Chain, 20 carries for 99 yards, a touchdown, 12 fantasy points. And Darren Waller, 3 catches for 27 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 fantasy points. Justin Fields, 20 for 28, 226, 1 touchdown. Also ran for 81 yards and a touchdown. 27 fantasy points from him. He had a huge game. Brees Hall had 14 carries for 81 yards, 16 fantasy points, and Garrett Wilson, 6 catches for 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 20 points. Jets lose Braylon Allen to a knee injury. Um, so, um, Jets lose him. Tyreek Hill goes down. Gruesome injury. Dislocated kneecap, torn ligaments. Out for the year. He had surgery today. It was successful, and he plans to be back in 2026. I mean, a huge blow for Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins.
can I just give you a quick update? The Red Sox just beat the Yankees 3-1, game one.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
go.
uh,
Even if I hate them, I hate the Yankees.
Chapman had the bases loaded with no outs in the bottom of the ninth, and he came back to get three
Oh,
straight outs. Go Red Sox.
yeah. As long as they beat the Yankees, I hate the Yankees.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean,
But
I
yeah,
feel bad. I never want to see somebody, get hurt and be out for the year because they train all off season to get ready for the season. And Tyreek Hill, oh man, it's just huge blow to him.
so I guess the question is, was that the last game he ever plays for Miami?
Um, no, I think he'll be back. They're not going to trade him while he's hurt. I think that would be some shit to do. But I think Miami needs to do some offseason moves for Tyreek Hill. Be like, oh my gosh, we could be competitive. I don't know what that is on the defensive side, on the offensive line side. Their defensive back, safety, they just need to Go out and like spend money like the Bears did for their offensive line. Go get some key free agents. Go out and get some good draft picks. Because I feel like with a good O line, um, I feel like Tua can be successful, but it all depends on that offensive line. I don't think Tua is a terrible quarterback. I mean, I don't think he's top 10, but I just don't think Tua is like trash or anything.
I'd rather have Bryce Young than Tua.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I
I'm
don't
just
know
saying.
about that.
And you know how much I hate Bryce Young,
Well,
but
Bryce
I'd
Young
rather.
could run though. I mean, I'm not saying Tua can't run, but Bryce Young could is a running quarterback. So, but oh man, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Tyreek Hill might be coming back to a new coach next year too, depending what the rest
wait.
of the season's like.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, McDaniel just extended his job 1 week. That's all he did. That's
yeah,
all he did.
yeah. Um, Jets. I mean, Brees Hall had a good game. Justin Fields just, I mean, he had a couple good runs. He had but it's the I guess having Justin Fields really doesn't make a difference, but I don't. Obviously, their defensive offensive line is probably terrible, so that's the reason why they're 0-4. They just don't
Yeah,
have
they
the weapons.
well, they got weapons. They just don't have Justin. He didn't have the time yesterday to throw. And it didn't matter who was back there. Even when Tyrod Taylor started, he didn't have the time to throw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Justin Fields was scrambling just about every play. He made that one play. He ran 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage before he ran the 43 for the touchdown. Like he was just running for his life.
And then the last game, I didn't watch any of this game because I just was like, this was going to be Chandler in here. 28-3. Broncos moved to 2-2. Bengals moved to 2-2. Bo Nix, 29 for 42, 326, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 25 fantasy points. J.K. Dobbins, I like him more than Harvey. 16 carries for 101 yards, 11 fantasy points. Cortland Sutton, 5 catches for 81 yards, 10 fantasy points. And on the Bengals side, it's just not great. Bengals fans watching this game is kind of like basically watching this game, or even watching this game, being at the game. Jake Browning, 14 for 25, 125, 5 fantasy points. Hopefully nobody started Jake Browning. Jamar Chase, 5 catches, 23 yards. And T. Higgins, 3 catches for 32 yards, 7 fantasy points from Jamar Chase. And then Chase Brown, 10 carries for 40 yards. Boy, the Browns look, I mean, is there a worse word than just say awful? It's just, oh, my cricket's going off again. The crickets are just like, yes, yes. Just a bad game for the Bengals. They just have, without Joe Burrow, I mean, this team is pretty much done. There's nothing to say about this. What do you guys say about the Broncos? Like with the Broncos being 2-2 now.
Yeah, they're 2-2, and like I said, I don't. It's not like I had the Broncos missing the playoffs. I had them making the playoffs, winning 10 games again this year. I just, again, I don't think Bo Nix is an elite quarterback. I think he's, you know, middle of the pack, top 20 at best. He was playing the Bengals. The Bengals have given up, 80 points over the last 12 quarters or whatever it was. They've given up, their defense is horrible.
I mean, fantasy side, is it time to look for offers? I did with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Um, is it time to just pull the plug and try to find something worth having for Chase Brown and Jamar Chase and for T. Higgins?
Yeah, I would propose trades and see if anyone accepts. But
Yeah.
if they don't accept, I mean they're not gonna score 3 points every game.
No. No.
Jamar Chase is not gonna have 2 catches go
Yeah.
every game.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm scared about Browning. That's the thing. The captain leading the ship. I'm just kind of like, until Joe Burrow comes back, it's kind of like, oof. I don't know if I want Jamar Chase now.
well, does Jamar Chase go to management and say get a quarterback here? Whether they go and get a Russell Wilson or a Kirk Cousins or a Mac Jones or some? Do they go and does he demand a trade and upgrade at quarterback while Burrow's out? Because he wasn't happy. I watched that game. He was pissed off on the sideline, so he's not happy.
They've I don't know. They've got to look at something, maybe look at quarterbacks who maybe
Are you scrolling?
maybe I don't want to say like retired, or maybe that's not in the league right now. Do you like go out of the box and try to find somebody, or what is the answer? I mean, do you look to the UFL and maybe trying to sign somebody? I mean, I mean, it's, there's AJ McCarron. Isn't he in the UFL? He used to play for the Bengals. Do you bring him back and you just like, hey, it's just like, I'm not saying he was, great or anything, but I mean, he was decent at Alabama, but it's just like, what does the Bengals got to do? I mean,
You can bring Andy Dalton back.
Andy Dalton did come in. He did come into the Carolina game.
Yep.
That's a possibility.
Someone familiar with the team, the city, the gameplay. I think he could be he could be a better option than Browning at this point. Browning just he looked great last year. Not the same guy for whatever reason. Not the same guy.
What about Trubisky?
No, Bills aren't giving up. No, Bills are not going to give up.
I'm so mad at. If he would have had the right coach, I still rock my Trubisky jersey. I love Trubisky. I was happy when we drafted him. I was like, you know what? I just, yeah. Yeah.
There's a reason the Bills got him back as their backup because he left for a year. I think went to Pittsburgh and then came back to Buffalo. There's a reason he's happy as a backup to Josh Allen. He knows his role, and unless the Bengals offered him, I don't know, T. Higgins for Mitchell Trubisky. I know it sounds wild. The Bills aren't getting rid of Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Dalton would be a good. I think Dalton would be a good take. That would be someone. Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston. Even if you don't want to, even if the Giants don't move off of Russell, they keep him. Trade Jameis Winston. Trade one of their backups.
All right. So anyway, now My player of the week. Well, actually, I went with 2 players of the week. Um, just because it was such a great game to watch, and it was like he had a great game. I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott, 31 for 40 for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, 30 fantasy points, and Romeo Dobbs. I'm gonna go with him too. 6 catches for 58 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 29 fantasy points. So I'm picking Dak, and Romeo is my player of the week. Oh, and then there's always that one where you're just like, you start them and you're just like, oh my God, like what in the hell? I lost because of you. I got to go with Derrick Henry. 8 carries for 42 yards, 2 catches for 16 yards, 7 fantasy points. Yeah. I mean, you didn't start Derrick Henry this week to just have 7 fantasy points. He definitely cost a lot of people a win this week.
I agree.
Did you have a player of the week who you went with?
My player of the week is the guy who I said would have that get right breakout game against your Bears. That was Ashton Genty.
Oh, there you go.
33 fantasy points, 138 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns receiving, a touchdown rushing.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my guy.
All right, hang on one second. Somebody want to come up? All right, we're going to bring people up because we're going to do the next segment. But if you want to come on up, definitely let us know like any trades or how your team did, or did you win this week?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Enrique? It's nice to see you.
Not much. We're good. How you guys doing fantasy this week?
Yeah, how did you fare out this week in fantasy?
Well, I lost by a lot, man.
Oh, was there a player that messed you up?
Derrick Henry.
There you go. I just said it. See, I told you. I said, there you go. I knew. Yep, there you go.
Derrick Henry, and who else messed me up?
Jamar Chase was a bad one. T. Higgins was a bad one.
What are you guys feeling about? How are you guys feeling about Caleb Williams?
Oh, and asking me as a Bears fan? Oh, God. I still wanted Jaden Daniels. I haven't come around yet on it. I can't root for him. I can root for I can't. I just can't yet. Because I would get so buried on my Facebook because my friends know how much I do not like Caleb Williams. But
I started Caleb instead of starting Goff.
Instead of who, Dak?
Goff.
Oh,
Jared Goff.
I don't think Goff had that great of a game either. I think he had, 16 fantasy points? I think?
18, 20.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He had a little bit more than Caleb.
Yeah. Oh, he had 12, but that's from NFL.com. I think Caleb had 11, I think. So they were pretty much dead even. But like I said, every point system is different. I went with NFL.com, so I don't know. ESPN's different. Yahoo could be a little different.
So I'm playing 2 fantasy leagues, and then my other fantasy league, I got Saquon, and Saquon's letting me down, man.
Man, what do you think about that, Dadpool?
I was down on Saquon. I wasn't the team or the person to draft him with my first pick. If I had a top 3 pick, I was letting Saquon go. I took Bijan.
I think next year, Enrique, James Cook, Ibuka, let's see. Throw some other ones out there. I try to go
Genty.
after.
I'd take Genty a first round.
Gibbs? Shamir Gibbs?
What about the guy from Houston right now, Woody
Marks?
Yeah.
I'd pick him up as if he's available. I would drop
I'm
maybe
drop.
if you had
I'm dropping.
Braille. If you
I'm dropping Ridley. I'm dropping Ridley, and I'm
That's
picking up.
smart.
oh,
I would. Ridley's already gone. He's in the past for me. I just can't do it. I can't. As much as I hate to drop him, I thought I got a steal with Ridley, but it's just like I just can't. Because Cam Ward is a rookie, so I mean, maybe next year. I don't know.
And, thinking about trading Ladd.
yeah, I'm still holding on to Ladd. I'm giving Ladd one more week. I'm going to let the Chargers get right this week against the Commanders, and I think Ladd's going to have a touchdown and
What
100
if he
at
traded
least 80
Ladd
yards
for?
receiving.
I don't know if anybody would pull it, but what if he got like Keenan Allen or Quentin Johnson for Ladd? I think that would
Well,
be an
I
upgrade.
have I have Quentin Johnson also.
Oh, I like that. Oh,
So
that's good. Well, there you go.
I have Quentin Johnson. I'm thinking about trading Ladd and Myers
I know we haven't
and
got
maybe
to that
Pollard.
segment. I know we haven't got to that segment yet about pickups yet. But would you? I mean, if you're dropping Ridley, I wouldn't. Darius Slayton would be a better pick, or Wandale Robinson. Dadpool.
Well, I also have Debo and I also have McMillan as my wide receivers.
Hmm. Dadpool, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah. No, I didn't hear you. Were quiet.
I would if I had Ridley, I would look for the dude from Miami, Malik Washington.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a speedy guy. I feel like he can step in and come in for Tyreek Hill and
Mm-hmm.
fill in and get some fantasy points. I like Slayton too. I've always been a big Slayton fan. But if I was going to trade Ladd McConkey, I would trade Ladd McConkey for Devontae Smith.
Is it going to be a week to week with Robinson and Slayton, or is Wandell the official one?
I think he's the one on paper. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be the number one at the end of the day. I think the tight end. I think that tight end Theo Johnson seems to be a good target for Dart. Look for him to get some plays too.
So
Just a thought.
what do you guys think about like me trading Ladd, Myers, and Pollard? Should I trade them just for one person, or should I trade them in for two?
I don't think anybody's going to take Jacoby Myers. I already seen him already dropped in one of my leagues. I mean, I think you'll get some. You might get something from McConkley.
Oh, you'll get something for Tony Pollard too. Tony Pollard is still putting up numbers even though Tennessee's 0-4.
I think you could probably get maybe. I think you could probably get David Montgomery for him. I don't think you're getting a top running back.
Or if not, I could even probably. I have Kincaid on the bench too. Got Bowers and Kincaid as my tight end. So
I think if I had Pollard, I would be going after Kenneth Walker. I just have a soft spot for Kenneth Walker.
maybe Ladd and Pollard for K9.
Oof.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Woody Marks.
Oh man, I would. Oh man, I don't know. I like Devontae Smith. I think people are giving him, you know, getting rid of him, giving up on him way too early, just like they're giving up on AJ Brown. I would trade McConkey for Devontae Smith and if they had like a decent running back on their squad with I'd package like Pollard and McConkey for Devontae Smith and whoever their other running back is, like their third running back or something. I think Devontae Smith's going to have a turn back season. I think especially if AJ Brown happens to like get really disgruntled and maybe starts to look for a trade, you're going to see Devontae be that number one receiver with Goddard. That's pretty potent. I know you don't like Devontae Smith, NFL guy. I know you're down on Devontae.
I don't hate Devontae Smith. I mean, I think I'd be like I still have Devontae on my team. I haven't gave up on him or anything. I like Devontae. I just can't give up on the Eagles wide receivers with, Jalen Hurts being there. Yeah, I don't hate Devontae. I don't,
Put Devontae Adams with the.
Oh, are you talking
Commanders.
about Devontae Adams? Yeah, I think he had a touchdown this week.
I would trade McConkey for Devontae Adams. That's a fair trade.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a trade I would. Yeah, I'd be okay with Devontae Adams. I mean, if I was in that situation.
Man, I don't know. It's a tough one for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely is. Trades are definitely, sometimes you're just like, ooh, like, who do I go after? And, but.
All right, then, man. I'll catch you guys next time. When you guys
All right,
get
yeah.
online
Thanks,
again,
Enrique, for coming up and joining.
I'll see you guys soon.
Let us know next week if you got any of those trades if you pop on.
Yeah. If you guys pop on tomorrow or something, I'll hop on back in and I'll tell you my lineup. Tomorrow is when I finalize my lineup for the week.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys know if you guys are on tomorrow or Thursday.
Maybe Thursday. Maybe we might do a show. I don't know. We might pop on.
Sounds good. I'll be in touch. I'll be on the lookout.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, have a good night.
Later.
Yeah, have a good night. What did you go for your picks? I went 11-4-1. 40-23 with one tie. So not bad. I actually had a pretty decent week on my picks.
I went 9-6-1.
Oh yeah.
That's because I was picking some upsets. I went with Tennessee. I went with I had the Raiders. You had the Bears.
Yeah.
So we had some differences.
Yeah. So let's see. So topic number 2. I can't believe it. We've been on for like this long. We're only on the second topic. I know the recap usually takes so long, but if anybody wants to request up, definitely we can always stop and then bring you guys up and stuff and everything. Or if you ever have like a trade or anything in the comments. But bad takes. I mean, kickers again. Joey Sly, 2 missed field goals in the first half. Fairbairn, 54-yard field goal. He missed. Daniel Carson missed a 54-yard blocked. Cam Little missed a 47-yard field goal against the 49ers. So kickers once again being inconsistent. That's kind of my bad take.
I think it's becoming a big problem. Like, you don't know. I feel like kickers aren't secure anymore. Like it used to be. You had a kicker. They were your kicker for the whole year through good and bad. Now, you miss a field goal or an extra point, you're you could be cut the next day,
Yeah.
and then they got some dude on the practice squad ready to jump
I
in.
mean, look at Koo. Who would ever saw that coming? I did not expect that one bit.
And
Jake,
he wasn't even the Giants kicker though on Sunday.
yeah, Jake
They
Moody.
Jake Moody. Well, he's on your Bears still, right?
Yeah, he's on the injured reserve, or not injured reserve, but he's on the practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you got? Any bad takes? Or
yeah, I think it's just these star players just aren't coming through, and I get it. We really rely, like, fantasy is so seriously taken right now between
I'm so serious now. Fancy football.
all the apps that you can make bets on, and betting every play, every catch, every this and that. There's so much pressure on these guys to perform, and they're just not performing this year, and it's driving fantasy managers nuts. Yeah. Thinking you're down by 6 points, and you got Jamar Chase and Chase Brown. You figure you should be able to get 7 points. You can't even manage a victory with that, and it's kind of frustrating.
The remote, where the remote is. Yeah, it definitely, like I said, I mean, going back to, like I said, like a couple years ago when I had Mike Williams, all I needed him to do was have like 2 catches. All I needed was 1 point, and Mike Williams just, 0.4 to win for that week. Oh, I was just like, never again will I draft Mike Williams. I was like taking that serious. I'm like, come on, I can win this. All you need is like 2 catches, run for like 15 yards, basically 10 yards, and so totally off subject. But I just flipped on the Fever game. If they win, they're in the finals. But honestly, I don't want them to get in the finals without Caitlin Clark and Cunningham. They're both done for the year. So I mean, I'm going to be happy if they do win the championship. But at the same time, I just want, I'd rather have them in the finals with both of them playing. So I just had to throw that out there.
It's kind of not off topic because this is like league drama. Let me just let's talk about this WNBA drama. Did you see the commissioner of the WNBA say, like, lucky Caitlin Clark is making $16 million on her her deals, her off the court deals, because she ain't making nothing on the court? Like, who says that? There's going to be a strike next year. They're not playing next year. There's going to be some time missed.
Yeah, a lot of even retired players and a lot of people in the league is standing with her, because I'm like, the management is crap. The officiating is crap. They definitely need some different people running the WNBA. I mean, for somebody to come out and say that up in higher management, I'm like, really? Like, who says that? What would happen to Roger Goodell?
I was gonna say, what if it was NBA
like,
commissioner?
What? I'll be like, hey, Jamar Chase, you need to quit bitching, to sign it and sign your contract and get your ass on the field. When he was holding out last year.
Yeah, I know.
Something crazy like that. So it's just like, but yeah, definitely the superstars you think you're starting. I'm like, oh man, I got Amon St. Brown, Derrick Henry, I got Jamar Chase, I got Amarian Hampton, and both of them they just maybe just don't perform, and you're just like, oh my god, my bench, some of your bench players outperform the stars. I mean, the top-notch players. It's crazy. But yeah, so just had to talk about that. The bad takes. It's just, the kickers being inconsistent again. So, um, anyway, this would be the part where we do
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning.
the 2 minute drill where we bring you up. So, but obviously we already had Enrique pop up. So, um, but if anyone else wants to pop up, just request, and we'll bring you up anytime throughout the show. Um, so okay, now topic 4 is ground and pound, but we're gonna do dash and pass. So we're gonna talk about the quarterbacks this week. Um, I mean, San Francisco's quarterback is Purdy the answer. I mean, no, you talked about it earlier in the show. Mac
I I
Jones. It's
I
like,
think you're right with Mac Jones.
yeah, I mean, he's not terrible at all. I just don't know. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is terrible, but I mean, oh, excuse me. I don't know if like I just don't know. Yeah, San Francisco quarterback situation is really weird. Um, I feel like Kirk Cousins needs to be starting somewhere. Oh, okay. No problem, Dadpool. So we're having audio issues with Dadpool. Um, I'll see if he requests us back up. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't think like Mac Jones is a terrible quarterback. I don't think Brock Purdy's a terrible quarterback. Um, I'll wait for him to pop up because I was going to ask him about Kirk Cousins. But um, I mean Browning's not the answer in Cincinnati. Penix is so up and down. I mean, if he can be consistent, I definitely feel like Penix could be a really decent quarterback. Like I said, I am dealing with some really bad allergies right now, so if you see me like rubbing my nose or sniffing a lot, I apologize. It's just like that type of season. I took some allergy pills earlier today, and it's just it's just bad. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Gotta love this time of year when it's allergy season. Dadpool is having some audio issues. So we are doing the one segment called Dash and Pass. Dash and Pass. We changed it up this week. Ground and Pound is usually the topic. Um, and we thought we'd talk a little bit about the quarterbacks. Dak looked really good against the Packers. Um, Patrick Mahomes had a really decent game. Um, as long as Goff has a decent game, I think, the Lions can keep winning. And Jamar Gibbs can make up for that. And Amon St. Brown and David Montgomery, excuse me. So we'll just see if Dadpool pops up. I wanted to see if he had anything to say about his thoughts on dash and pass on some of the quarterbacks. And then we're gonna get ready for we always ask each other a quiz or like a question. Um, so I'm just gonna give it a minute and see if Dadpool comes on. If not, I will skip the trivia question and I'll just come back to it. But we'll see if he. Let's see. I'll give him another minute or two and see what happens. See if he restarts his phone. But anyway, thanks for everybody popping in. Share the live, like the live. That would be much appreciated. I appreciate everybody spending their time coming in, chatting, watching. So, thank you from the NFL guy, the movie guy slash the NFL guy. So, let me see. I could move to Grill and Chill, which is topic 7. Or actually, no, I apologize. Actually, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a minute. Before I move on to the next topic. I want to see if Dadpool comes in just for a second. So, if anybody wants a request up, hit the request button. It'll bring you up if you want to talk about how you did in fantasy or how your team did this week. So hopefully Dadpool will actually be joining us for the rest of the show. Maybe he restarted his phone. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Well, I'm just gonna move on to the next segment, I guess, which is we called it Fantasy Footlong, but we changed the time. Excuse me for a second. Pardon me. Oh my gosh. So anyway, we're called topic 7 Fantasy Footlong, but now we're calling it hold on one second. So we had an issue. Somehow Dadpool got banned. What? Oh my gosh. What the heck? I don't know what happened. I'll have to figure out like later on and see what happened when I talk to him. But anyway, my like I said, topic 7 is touchdown rant. So we're gonna move on to that segment. So I have something to rant about.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn!
My rant is, how do we still have ties in the NFL? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how we still have ties. Like, how are we not at the college overtime rules? Especially, like, for the Packers and Dallas game. Like, how are we having ties? Like, one overtime, Dallas scores a touchdown. Green Bay has a chance to go down and score. There is a touchdown. there's a double overtime. Dallas has got to go down there and go for 2 if they score, or kick a field goal, or just say they have to score. They have to score. If they don't score, and then Green Bay could go down there and score and go for 2 and win the game. But that's my rant. Like, I think that's the dumbest thing ever. Is actually, like, still how there is ties. Like, I don't understand how there's ties still in the NFL. I really don't understand that. So, so that is my rant for that. Dadpool's not here, so I think that the live might be kind of short tonight. Sleeper picks. Let me see. I had them written down. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I had my sleeper picks. I don't think it's in this one. Let me see if it's right here. Oh, yes, definitely. Here we go. Wan'Dale Robinson. Sleeper picks, fantasy pickups. Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton. I think those would be 2 really good pickups. Khalil Shakur for the Bills. I mean, he had a good game. I know they just threw to him. Darius Slayton would be a really good pickup. I don't know if Justice Hill would be a good pickup. I guess if you have some injuries, there might be some other good running backs available, but that's also a possibility. Also, for topic number 9, well, actually, you know what? I might just skip ahead to do the pigskin pick'ems for this week, because I got to find out what's going on with Dadpool. So anyway, we do have some teams on a bye this week. Yes, we have some teams. We got the first buys. We have the Bears, so there's no Roma Doomsday, there's no DJ Moore, there's no Caleb Williams. The Falcons are on a bye this week, so no Bijan Robinson, no Drake London. The Packers are on a bye, so no Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Matthew Golden, and the Steelers are on a bye, so no DK Metcalf. So for the Thursday game, we have the Rams and 49ers. And I'm going with the Rams. I like the Rams in this matchup. I think Kyron's going to find the end zone. I think Puka's going to have another big game. I don't know if that San Francisco defense is going to stop Kyron Williams. There might be a Tutu Atwell sighting, but I like the Rams in this matchup. Then if you get up early in the morning, we have another international game. Vikings and the Browns. They're playing over in the UK. I am going with the Vikings over the Browns. I think Carson Wentz will actually outperform Joe Flacco. Justin Jefferson should have a good game. Hoping Jordan Mason will bounce back and have a good week. I like the Vikings. I like the Cowboys over the Jets. That could be a blowout. I don't know if that's going to be close. Javonte Williams, George Pickens going to have really good games. I think Dak Prescott could have another 2-3 touchdown game. I got the Giants over the Saints. Jackson Dart is questionable, so I don't know what's up with him. But it'll be interesting to see if Wan'Dale Robinson or Darius Slayton takes off. But I like the Giants over the Saints. I got the Colts over the Raiders. Danny Dimes, Jonathan Taylor versus Ashton Genty. That's going to be a really good matchup to watch. I like the Colts. I think they bounce back. I like the Dolphins over the Panthers, even without Tyreek Hill. I think Devon Achane's going to have a really good game. Waddle's going to have a really good game. I think he's going to pick up the slack of no Tyreek Hill. My upset pick of the week, I'm actually picking the Broncos over the Eagles. I think finally, just like how the Colts, lost their first game, or Colts lost their first game. The Chargers, sorry, I don't know why I would think of the Colts, wrong C team. But I just have this funny feeling. When I went to pick this matchup, I was like, I kind of like the Broncos of this matchup. I don't know if A.J. Brown's going to get going. Let's hopefully A.J. Brown finally gets some catches and Devontae Smith. But I got the Broncos in an upset this week. Ravens over the Texans. The Ravens going to bounce back. I like Baltimore. Oh, man. I don't know if they can still win without Lamar Jackson. Possibility, but you got to give the ball. I feel like Derrick Henry is going to get a lot of carries in this game. I like the Ravens. I like the Cards over the Titans. Marvin Harrison, Kyler Murray. I think both of them should have really good, decent fantasy games this week. Now, my game of the week. My game of the week is the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. They're playing at Seattle, the 12th man. It's going to be loud. I like Seattle. This is going to be a high-score game. I think this could be like 28-27, 28, maybe 30, 31-28. I think it's going to be a high-score game. Kenneth Walker is going to find the end zone. Najigba is going to have a really great game. I like the Lions over the Bengals. Gibbs. Obviously, you're starting Gibbs. I would start Montgomery as the flex. I like the Chargers over the Commanders. I think they bounce back. I know Jaden Daniels is rumored to come back. We'll see what happens. I got the Bills over the Patriots. This was going to be my upset pick of the week, but I like what the Bills are doing. I think Josh Allen and James Cook is going to keep cooking. I like them. And then I like the Chiefs over the Jaguars. Even though the Jags are 3-1, I just feel like that offense for the Chiefs is so much better than the Jaguars. I think the Chiefs gets it done. My long shot player of the week is going to be wide receiver D. Eskridge for the Dolphins. He played in the league for 5 years for Western Michigan. He is my long shot for the week. And I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I know Dadpool is having issues. I got to find out what's going on with him. But thank you for everybody joining in the live. If everything goes well, we might come do a show on Thursday. Not 100% sure. If we do have a show on Thursday, we might come back to touch up on some of these topics that Dadpool wasn't here for. So anyway, hopefully everybody has a great week. Hopefully everybody has a great fantasy week. Hopefully your team will win this week. And until next time, it's the NFL guy. Have a great night, everybody.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Oh, and in case I don't